teams. But the Lycan has slipped through immediately and first grabbed. No problems if you're not going to ban it. Oh wow!
Yeah, and this really plays into
ones.
their Brewmaster and Treant. But that Lycan really does fit Bronzer's style, where they have a carry mid and then playmaking heroes on the other roles, so Tom can do his own thing, sort of 20 to 40 minutes in. And they'll play 4 versus 5 while Tom is, split pushing and ratting really hard. And they pick up Nature's Prophet as well just to help out.
No, I can
So it
already
begins
see
the
trend.
great rat storm of our time.
Now, how do you think Infused are going to want to counter this? I feel like they're getting rid of the AA is almost annoying for them because they could have used that one pretty nicely for themselves.
Yeah, definitely. Well, look, they're going against the Shadow Shaman, which is great with Lycan and Nature's Prophet, and he's pretty good at roaming as well once he gets a couple of levels. I don't know, Infused are going to have to go balls to the wall here. Try and win early and then keep lane control and map control, which is difficult to do against these two heroes that Bronze have so far.
Oh, that's like the one thing they're really good at though. If Tyrox, I almost want to just see him play Shakiro again, how dominant he was against Bravado Blue with that hero, but their early game plays seem to be very impressive. So I think they're going to, as you say, get the early advantage going and just not allow Lycan to farm up or Nature's Prophet to get too much space. I think they're going to need, some
and with
good
that
mobility.
Treant, yeah, definitely. But with that Treant, if they can keep their tier 1 tower standing for the first, 10 minutes or so, he can just keep healing them up and stop any split push that comes out of the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah.
But I think they'll probably go for something like a Treant and a Venge or a Treant and a Witch Doctor, something with kill potential, but also good at split pushing and holding their own when defending towers. Because Voodoo Restoration, then Living Armor and Leech Seed, you've got so much staying potential in that team fight.
5 seconds remaining.
Is Nature's Prophet something they like to play off lane, or do they do kind of AFK jungle farming?
No, it'll be off lane Nature's Prophet. Unless things get really rough for him when he'll go to the jungle level 3 or something like that.
Yeah, I'm wondering about Brewmaster. Is that going to be a mid play? I mean, I haven't really been casting much
most
Dota
likely.
since he came into the limelight completely over the last 2 months. But yeah, okay, mid gonna be expected over here, and we're gonna see this these drafts completely unwrap basically over this next pick phase. I can see Rubik being eliminated as well, so maybe they're gonna want to pick some heroes which have got some wombo combo capabilities.
Well, with the Brewmaster, we've seen him in pretty much every role possible. We've seen some Russian teams play as a support, as an off lane. We've seen him solo mid, we've seen him safe lane, we've seen him in dual lanes, tri lanes, literally every single role Brew's been tried in. I still think solo mid is his strongest, because you can use the bottle to get your mana regen up, but you can kill anyone on that lane once you hit level 6.
Yeah.
Even if you're at a deficit, once Brew hits level 6, there's always kill potential there.
Is it the kind of thing that you think is just a little bit OP at the moment and needs the nerf hammer all over it, or do you think people are just they need to explore other avenues to counter him?
I don't think it's OP. Like when people have picked Silencer and even Bloodseeker to some extent against him, he is very weak as a standalone hero. It's just his ultimate that's really strong, and people have started realizing that Ags isn't the best item on him. So they've started spamming auras and getting Shivas, Vlad's AC on him.
Yeah. Keeper of the Light here going to be. I think this is a really nice pick from Infused, actually. Going to counter that Prophet, counter that Lycan as well, if they keep on trying to push. And maybe just keeping them at bay in the very early game. And Mirana as well for tomorrow. I wonder if we can get some nice arrows early game. This would be really helpful to kind of alleviate some of the pressure that could be directed towards their late game carries.
But they've picked up no supports yet. They've got 2 heroes left to go. I'm just wondering if there's going to be another core Mirana. They could run aggressive trialing with this, Mirana plus 2 supports, but that leaves the Lycan solo against the Timbersaw, which is not ideal for him.
Yeah, it's very open-ended. I think Infused might have a hard time reading exactly what Bronze are going to want to do with this. And I mean, their last 3 bans have been of supports, basically. And so I guess we're going to see another ban coming in a moment. It's a Shadow Demon. Gonna be. I would say it's their first support, but we still don't know what Mirana's going to be up to at all. But presume it's not going to be off-lane Mirana.
Well, they could still run dual lanes and have Shadow Demon Mirana on the bot lane, and then have Lycan plus a support that can, defend him and then stack and pull.
Radiant team pick.
We could even see Lycan go mid. They've run that a couple of times, and against Brewmaster it wouldn't do awfully, since the wolves take very limited damage from magical, and Brew relies heavily on that thunderclap.
Right, but surely they'd just be missing constantly. Lycan wouldn't be able to hit a thing against Brewmaster.
Well, you can just use the wolves to harass the Brew, and if they get a lucky crit, they're still going to do damage to him.
True.
And then Lycan with the Howl can just last hit creeps.
5 seconds remaining.
And it also removes Brew's dominance of the rune control, because you can send wolves off to deny the rune,
Yeah.
and then you're just sitting pretty in mid lane.
No, that's a very good point. And melee versus melee is not too bad. Nothing for them to fear each other for. I'm getting kind of. It's a very mix and match kind of setup that I see. We always have the keeper of the light. If there's no PL, then it's generally how is this team going to pull together? I just like the counter push, really. I think that's just the sole reason that the keeper of the light's his sole purpose for existence right now.
Yeah, the Timbersaur's pretty good at that as well. I mean, they need something to tie this team together, I think. They've got pretty good magical and pure damage from Timbersaw, then they've got the team fight control from Brew and Treant. They've got plenty to sustain and AoE. They can stack camps and farm them relatively quickly. Now they just need a carry that can, excel at farming those creeps and scale well 15 to 20 minutes in. Because that's when they want to start taking fights, destroying tier 2s and, pressuring tier 3s. That's where Lycan and Nature's Prophet are at their weakest, when they're defending high ground.
That Luna's still available. Bronze did get rid of Gyrocopter, which it could have worked well, but that wouldn't be the 15-20 minutes in. That would have been kind of 25 to 35 minutes in, unless of course they got an absolutely flawless farm plan going.
I don't know, 20 minutes in, you could have phase drums BKB, because they're going to be stacking the camps, like I said. With that jungle
True.
fully stacked, you could definitely get through that quickly.
I don't feel like that's enough damage, though, necessarily to be an enormous threat for them. It's going to be Slardar, actually. Is this going to be main carry Slardar, or?
Yeah, it looks like it. And Richie, his two, I'd say, main heroes are Mirana and Slardar. They're the ones we see him play most often.
Okay.
So it's definitely going back to basics for them.
This is a nice, colourful lineup.
I'm just wondering.
Yeah?
I don't know if they... Oh, Undying. Wow. Okay, aggro try then. I'm pretty sure they'll send the Lycan mid, then Nature's Prophet safe lane, and then have this aggro try down on bot.
I think this is what they were being trolled about earlier, is the fact that they always do an aggro tri lane.
That's Infused. Infused always do aggro try.
Really? Okay. So
Yeah,
fight
Bronze
fire
very
with
rarely
fire.
do it. They usually have safe... Yeah, they usually have safe lane farm for Tom, and then have two rotating supports to help out Steve. But Steve's their mid player. Let's actually go over the teams. They've got John L on the Nature's Prophet going top safe lane. Then we've got Steve on the Lycan. He'll be going mid most likely. Then aggressive tri lane. Tom on the Mirana. Mike on the Undying. And Mighty Morphin on that Shadow Demon.
Fantastic. And down in Infused, we've got Tone. He's going to be taking control of the Timbersaw. We've got Tyrox on the Brew. Cottle taken by Elia. Richie is going to be on the Slardar. And Treant taken by Kirk. And they're just getting into lanes immediately, actually. That's the one thing that I've noticed. The South Africans, early on in the game, they much prefer to all gather up as 5. Roam into that enemy jungle, either spot down some wards or even look for an early kill. Do we not see that much of that happening in the UK teams, or are they just playing it easy in this first game?
We see it occasionally. It all depends on the level 1 skill set. Like right now, Bronze know that they've got plenty of kill potential with just these 3 heroes, no matter who they find in the jungle. So they don't need the other 2 to come down here. But most of the time, Infused especially, we usually see them literally sitting next to their tier 2s or hiding in the trees, because they're always so wary of giving up that first blood in such a situation. That's mainly because they rely so heavily on winning their lanes, and if they give away that little bit to the enemy team, they know that their lanes can suffer.
Yeah, they'd rather not take that risk early on. well, I say early update, before the game's even started, basically, but
Yeah.
groups have spawned, so guys, this officially, this first winner bracket semi-final has started. It is UK versus South Africa tournament, but as you can tell, it's full-on 100% UK blood in this, and you're going to see that on the winner bracket semi-finals a little later on as well. And then we can...
Much better block from Tyrox at mid. He gets the creep wave up on his high ground.
Oh, yeah,
Look at this, straight into Steve's face.
All over that, and Brew going to be going for that early bottle because he's got it now essentially. If you want to say, but I never play Brew. This is one thing I respect their hero, but I haven't got a freaking clue how to play him.
It's not difficult.
Until you get into the ulti form. You need to have your micro skills
No.
going.
You just have to tab. Use one skill tab, use another skill tab.
I've been trying to
Steve
practice
actually gets his
Sleeper,
bottle
but-
delivered before Tyrox.
Oh, really? Well, he just went 2 branches, and I don't even know if he went any tangos or anything. He just... Oh, we got some movement happening here in the bottom lane, well, in the jungle. And I think they're just trying to keep these camps blocked completely, just so that Trent can't do anything. Are they going to be able to put down... Have they got another ward to go? They could put it there, but it's an observer, so I don't know if they're going to want to waste it. Oh no, they did. I don't think they managed to get rid of his sentry, so that's actually really good for Bronze.
No, Bronze had a sentry originally, then Cook dewarded it with a sentry here, then they've dewarded it again and placed another one down. So there's just constant blocking of this camp.
Oh, and we got the Invis rune. Is that going to be denied at all? Nope, Brewmaster going to be able to get it. So Steve gutted there, unfortunately, mate. And Brew actually holding off
How's
the
Tone
best.
doing up on this top lane?
Yeah, let's take a peek.
Well, he's 8 for 0, Nature's Prophet 7 for 3. So Nature's Prophet not doing too badly, he's able to stay out of range of Whirling Death and Timber Chain.
Just gotta say a quick shout out to Justin2K55. Thank you very much for subbing to the channel, man. Much appreciating your support. Welcome to the Z list. And you know, they seem fairly evenly matched. You're gonna get a couple denies, obviously for the Nature's Prophet, but it's gonna be easier for him to do that.
The thing is though, Slardar has 3 last hits. So when you take a look at the last hits of denies, there's 3 dire heroes up there in the top 4. Brewmaster's winning his lane, which is, you know, to be expected. But Lycan's strength comes much later in the game than the Brew.
And Kottle's just like, well, I guess since you can't get any of the last hits, I'll just take them. Illuminate, thank you, please.
And finally managed to get a pull off. 3 sentries later.
It's taken a while, but they need that desperately just so the Slardar can get anything. And if they're able to pull it down effectively to the tower, then maybe we can see some of the supports rotating a little bit. Tom taking
Arrow.
a hefty load of damage. Well, arrow into nothing but the distance. There's Mighty Morphin in mind.
The trouble for Infused here... Yeah, if they overstep their bounds, they are dead. Without a shadow of a doubt. Disruption, Soulcatcher, Arrow, and then they've got Undying Tombstone.
Yeah.
They could even start looking to dive towers in a little bit, because Keeper of the Light has relatively, just got Chakra Magic, level 1. But now has no mana left.
Oh god, Tom taking that damage. That's brutal, but we just got First Blood happening in mid. Just saw the end of that. Tyrox just diving down the tower. Oh, and that almost
Didn't even use
taking
ulti.
Dire's middle tower
What the hell just happened there to mid player? Solo kill in mid? That should not be happening. We've seen a
Well,
lot
he got
of
the
that.
creep wave pushed up. Yeah, they got the creep wave pushed up next to the tower, so that just gave him free reign to clap and get a couple of lucky crits on him.
That's brutal. Steve is going to be gutted with that.
Interesting move from Tyrox there, he just claps the ground for no reason whatsoever, wasting his mana.
Has he got any... Well, he's got actually plenty of money coming in.
He might actually look to TP towards his bot lane, he's just bought one, and when his bottle comes in, he'll regen back up.
Yep.
TP down, try and get a kill down here, try and help out his Slardar. Because if they can kill just, you know, one or maybe even two if they're lucky of these heroes, oh, arrow going to fly out, not going to hit Richie. That could swing the lane around. Because that's going to give, you know, a couple of levels to Slardar and help him last hit.
Yeah, Slardar really needs a bit of help at the moment. The pressure has been working quite nicely. 5 minutes in, only 6 last hits for Slardar. This is nice.
Like Shree and Kotl have more than him.
That's just crazy, and they're just like, well, we'll take the... They might as well put Slardar into the jungle whilst they're helping put all those creeps stacking. Richie does get disrupted, but no danger. Oh, thunderclap though in mid. Tarx is trying to push Steve away from this.
No mana for ulti though. Does have his bottle being sent back to him though. If Steve isn't careful, actually Steve's level 6, so he shouldn't die here. And I guess Rune was just denied by Steve.
I didn't spot that one, unfortunately. Well, Elliot just positioning herself carefully, trying to get damage, pushing that lane a little further. Mirana's doing alright. A lot of denies for Mirana, actually. 12 denies, 23 last hits. He's doing okay, but these guys on the bottom lane, I think especially Team Bronze, they're going to be struggling a lot with XP as they've been huddling around each other for the entirety of this game. And whereas this might be... let's have a look if I can find the levels. Yeah, I mean, actually...
Yeah, they've made nothing happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're getting last hits for the Mirana, which is great and all, and once she's got phase boots, she can probably solo down here, but they haven't made any movements with the Shadow Demon Undying. They don't have too much kill potential mid if they roam towards Steve, because it's a Lycan, so they've got no additional stuns for the Brewmaster or Silence or anything. I was just wondering if they make a move like this, try and stop these pulls happening, because they're just giving a free lane to Infused since that D-Ward came out.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't see Mirana and Shadow Demon rotating into mid, and Undying just taking cover of the lane for a couple of minutes. And I mean, that would have been pretty useful before Baru got his level 6 as well, but they kind of left... Both teams have left it a little bit too late to get the early ganks going.
So that's level 6 and Blink. Look at where the courier is with Blink. That's such a smart move.
Whoa. Or did they just move it back completely?
So he was running towards base, and he got the courier to send Blink here while he was running towards base to regen bottle, then he TP's down, so Blink is on him as he arrives. It wouldn't really have made any difference if it stayed on the courier, but or stayed in his stash.
Yeah, so Brewer's looking really good. Oh, they're gonna miss the arrow over
Oh,
here.
wow.
Dies completely. Tyrox is just kicking ass, and that is 3 heroes down. And Infused with a storming start in this winner bracket semi-final. And this might be tower gone.
Opens up the mid tower for Steve though.
Oh wow, he just completely ripped it apart.
Oh, top lane, Tone gets caught out there, sprouted up, John L, Disruption, Soul Catcher. They don't have enough damage to take him down, surely. Oh, he's got no mana though. He can't chain away. He's got Arcanes in a little bit.
Oh.
And living armor, okay.
That's it, that's what he needed to survive. Yeah. Timbersaw just way too tanky as well. I mean, even without the living armor, he maybe would have survived anyway.
Oh yeah, he was never going down. They needed one more stun or one more nuke, something to just take him over the edge. Because with Soulcatcher on, you need that burst damage rather than right clicks from Nature's Prophet.
And despite losing out on all these first kills, maybe Bronze are actually going to be able to push more than just a single tower.
One of the big problems with Undying is he excels at early game team fights and diving towers with Tombstone, catching multiple heroes out. Now he is one of the best heroes against tri-lanes along with Visage, but again, they haven't been able to do anything because of Infused positioning. Treant able to stack and pull. He's pretty tanky, hard to kill. And that Keeper of the Light sitting in the fog, spamming out Illuminates as often as possible, pushing the lane back. So they never got their creep equilibrium towards the or past tower. I just saw Richie crush creeps, that's fair enough. Because if they have the Shadow Demon and the Undying come, round the back through this passage here, and then Mirana from here, they could catch Infused in this area with a Tombstone, but they've never been able to get that positioning.
I mean, it's been very quiet in general. I mean, 10 minutes, 4 kills. Infused will be happy with that, but we might have a fight in a second. I really want to check out the gold graph, which is identical. Only Infused really have an advantage with the experience. And they're just trying to steal some creeps back, take them for themselves. And
That's mainly like you said, they've got these two supports not doing anything, whereas Infused are stacking and pulling on them. And Richie picks up a blink dagger already. Such a rough start, but getting a 10.5 minute blink is great for him.
Yeah. There's 2 blinks now on Infused. And we haven't even been seeing much in the way of Ancient pulling, even though it's not the best Ancient farming team. It could be something useful just for later in the game when they could get maybe their supports a little bit more experience. They could get the Lycan in just to tank up stuff with the Wolves, but they haven't really done anything. And I think Bronze have just been ridiculously passive.
Well, they're going to look for something now. Richie in the trees. Uses Crush. Disruption does go out on the tree, and no arrow going to fly across as well. Don't know if they can kill him though. He's pretty tanky. Oh, what with the decay? Tombstone goes down. Illuminate across. Tom probably going to fall. And tactical pause.
Ouch. Well, that's was that Steve in mid just disconnecting over there? I wonder if this could change
Well,
the
Tom
outcome
has
of
leap,
the
so he's
fight.
not going to die.
No, he'll be
No,
fine.
I just noticed he's got leap ready to go.
Yeah, he's
So in
good
fact,
on that.
it's Richie that has to be careful.
And I think, did Illuminate just finish getting casted? I think it did. So, yeah, actually Richie was going to want to watch out. Let's have a look. Disruptions, well, that's not up for absolutely ages. I don't know, maybe Richie can get away as well. Because he's
Yeah,
going to be
he's
running
going to get
pretty
away,
fast.
but if he stays too long to try and find a kill, then he might get taken out, because Decay has really low cooldown.
Mm-hmm. Unless he gets a bash. If he gets a bash, then Tom, like, next hit, then Tom might die. I think that's... Although, it'll
Tom's
have
got
to
like
be
500
really
HP.
lucky. Yeah.
He has to get like 3 bashes in a row or something like that.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Oh my god. Best RNG ever for Richie incoming. I think Tom, as soon as it gets on pause, it's probably going to be spamming that leap just to, in case that does happen. Alright, we should be getting going once again. Oh, well, there was one bash happening, but...
Everyone just runs away.
It's like... Break away, guys, break away. Disengage.
Vlad's medallion done for Lycan, so it's Roche time already.
And they didn't notice this. Infused don't have a clue. And it's, like...
They do,
normal
they've got a
timing.
ward that saw him go in there.
Was that the one? Oh no, it was covered up by the,
Oh,
fire
maybe
ward.
they didn't.
He might have just snuck around. Yeah, no, I think he just got out of that.
That ward doesn't give them vision over there.
No, it's just a little bit too far out of range. He took as close to the wall as possible, and I think he's safe. Yeah.
So Tarox might know something.
Is he
Making
gonna
a move
go?
towards that bot rune, but is he going to snip it out? Yeah, he goes in. Roshan on really low health. Might
Oh,
pop his
wow,
ultimate here.
and they
No, he
can't
forces the
finish
ulti
it.
from Steve. Steve actually goes back in on this. I'm not sure about that decision. Tarox with living armor. Decay. Where's the arrow? Arrow's going to hit him. Oh no! Tragic turn of events.
Wow. A really nice timing on that arrow, actually, and Tarox is just going to buy back, but I don't think it's going to be... Oh, Richie, he's coming in right now. They haven't finished this. They have not concluded Roche, but it's just going horribly wrong at the moment for Infused. Although Tom is very weak. Might just... Oh, doesn't he have enough mana for an arrow to fire in on the sideline? And that is going to be Roche taken by Dire, I think. But it's gone immediately, and actually a lot of the bronze players are falling at the moment. Brew has gone into ulti form. And with 2 buybacks, Infused are finding a couple of kills right now. Steve, though, he fell, the Aegis fell, and then he died a second time round. I wish we had now that Beyond the Summit kind of heads-up display to see the difference in experience and gold earned for both the teams then.
Yeah, because I'm not even sure who that favoured, because Tyrox went in and
Yeah.
died, then had to buy back. Then Richie died, so they've got their 2 really important core heroes going down. But then they go back in and they take the Aegis from the Lycan, kill him, kill Nature's Prophet, force the rest of the enemy team back. Did Mirana die in all of that?
Yes,
I'm pretty sure she just escaped.
and I think there's got 1 death on Mirana right now, so... Unless Mirana died earlier, but I'm pretty sure... Maybe it is, okay. We've got another fight happening on the tier 2
We're
down the
seeing more
bottom.
aggression on bot lane.
Oh, and actually apparently Bronze cleaning up this fight at the moment. Tyrox doesn't have ult anymore. He just popped it a few moments ago. And this is, I think they've kind of overstayed their welcome a little bit. They did really nicely with the buyback, and even though losing out on the money from Rush, they managed to push that one tier 1. And I think they just got a little bit too confident just then. Let's have a look at the gold shot. The gold shot's been going up and down. It's a heart rate monitor at the moment.
It's pretty crazy. But that favors Tom's side a lot more, because Bronze have this split push potential, and if Infused don't keep the ball rolling and snowball with the Brew and the Slardar, even the Timbersaw to some extent needs items to keep going, then Bronze can just, walk over towers like they are doing. Howl, Treant, and they've got the Undying Tombstone to put behind towers to take them even faster.
Yeah. Well, it's very nearly.
Let's see that gold graph. So,
Timbersaw.
Lycan killed Slardar to begin with, then Undying died, then Nature's Prophet died, then Lycan died. So yeah, Mirana escaped by the skin of her teeth, it looks like.
It's very even though this game. Like, both the teams have lost. Actually, no, there's only one tier 1 down for Bronze at the moment, and 2 for Infused. But it's just ridiculously even. I think the fact that Roche went in favor of Team Bronze kind of balanced it up a huge amount. And I like it. I like that we're seeing an even game here in the first game of the winner bracket semis. And it definitely, like, it shows what you were saying. For me, who I know a little bit more about the South African scene, or infinitely more about the South African scene than the UK scene, but it definitely shows that actually these English teams are nicely tied up on skill, at least to a certain extent. And it's far more an extreme difference between the top 4 South African teams.
Now, how many teams did you say you had in that DGL? Was it 200 or something like that?
Oh, there's a lot of teams, but in the Premier League, there's only 10 or 11, I believe. But the difference between the number 1 in the Premier League and the number 10th, or the 10th or the 11th, is just phenomenal. It's really, really different. But then you go through the divisions, and of course, it kind of plateaus out a little bit.
So I was really surprised when JDL started how many UK teams sort of appeared from nowhere. Because previously we sort of saw maybe 6 or 7 teams regularly playing together, and probably 15 teams in total of just mixes, people playing together for fun. But then JDL starts and there's 70 to 100 teams comprised of UK players, and sort of, wow, where did these guys come from?
But it's good though. It's really good. This is the beginning. Well, I'm sure it's not just the beginning of the UK teams maybe getting.
Oh, what an arrow! Tyrox getting caught out again. Has got his ultimate though. Going to chase people down. Can he catch anyone? Stun does fly out onto Shadow Demon. No disruption left for him. But there's the Moonlight Shadow. Can they take him down before he goes? No.
Oh.
But the fire panda burning him.
They didn't commit to the
Brewmaster.
Like.
Oh, nice blink.
The arrows for Tom have been amazing in shutting down that Brewmaster before, and he hits one again, but his teammates aren't close enough.
Meanwhile, at bottom lane, Timbersaw has his Bloodstone completed, finds a kill on the Lycan with the help of Trian and Kotl. Slardar even. Kotl's up on top lane.
Yeah, I missed that fight down at the bottom, but there's a bit of back and forth pushing here in the top lane. And that Illuminator's kind of just completely shunned them away, so Elliot doing some nice defensive work to slow them down. I'm starting to see it.
Looks like John Allen's been watching Admiral Bulldog.
Admiral Bulldog doesn't get much of a chance to play though, the Prophet these days. It's just denied constantly the opportunity.
He played... I don't know, he played quite a lot of DreamHack.
Yeah?
And he was constantly buying Maelstrom Blink into Orchid or something like that.
I was casting during DreamHack, so I couldn't see any of those games. I was so gutted. Is Blink like a really popular choice on a Prophet? I swear, I guess that since Shadowblade kind of got nerfed, they've been looking for other escape abilities.
He basically started to play Nature's Prophet as Clinks would. So you've got the global teleport, then you've got blink, so that you can push a lane and blink into trees and TP out safely. Whereas, like you said, Shadow Blade has been nerfed quite heavily, so it isn't that useful. Then sometimes if he feels really under pressure, oh, he's going to go top lane onto Elia. They've got the Sprout, they've got Maelstrom, Starstorm, but the Blinding Light. Can they actually finish her off with that mischance? No. Trying to take out a Kotal when in ultimate form is pretty difficult with right clickers. But yeah, if he feels under pressure, he'll go Force Staff on top of that. And then an Orchid if he's against something like an Ember Spirit. So you've got lots of solo kill potential and split push. But he basically skips the Midas, which was, you know, a mainstay of Nature's Prophets for years and years.
Yeah. Okay, so we got Infused up in here, and that was a pretty optimistic arrow considering the amount of creeps there. Just pushing them away. He was basically on his own for a moment, but it's kind of stopped the pressure on that top tier 1, at least for now. And we've got a bit of a smoke happening on the supports. Let's have a look at the farm actually, how the net worth's looking. Profit, Lycan, looking pretty decent. Timbersaw as well, not too bad. Oh, he's only 2 for 1.
Well, it's pretty close across the board, and when you look at the gold graph, you can see the main difference is between Treant and Shadow Demon. Like, that is the difference between the teams. Treant has almost nothing, and Shadow Demon has a bit more.
Well, that's going to be a little bit of a boost for Infused. Getting himself, well, evening up the tier 1s. And even though this top tier 1 for Radiant is supposedly the most useless tower, they're protecting it really heavily. They still don't want it to go down.
Well, for them, their jungle's really important, so I wouldn't say it's usually is the most useless, but when they've got Lycan and heroes that want to farm the jungle while others are split pushing, Nature's Prophet especially, they need to defend this top tower so that Infused can't just go run into their run into their jungle without any contest.
Okay, yeah. I was meaning the top Radiant tower as well, though.
Oh, right.
They're just keeping a hold of the monies. Is Tarok's going to make a move on this? He's just completely invisible. Oh, they've managed to find
Oh, Sentry goes down and finds Cook.
Wow, the timing on that, and now Tyrox has moved in. He's going to get the Thunderclap down. Is he going to be able to take down Mighty Morphin? They surround, Richie comes in, and yeah, you're done for, mate. And during this time, we've got Prophet, just probably going to finally shake down that top tier 1.
Treant even buys back to defend this tower.
Wow.
That's kind of what I was saying. If they can keep these towers up and heal them with a Treant, then they're going to be in pretty good shape. But defending it like this is, taking it a step further.
It is.
Especially when bot lane is being pressured by Necrobook from Lycan.
Yeah, and Steve's going to be able to TP out. He's absolutely fine. He's going to... I think he went back to base. Oh, no, he moved into mid.
Just had someone message me saying they can't work out your accent.
They can't work out my accent.
Yeah.
I'm a Brit.
It's confusing people.
I'm a Brit, but I'm half French as well, so I've no idea if that's the difference in it.
That's definitely a factor.
Well, I've lived here for most of my life, so... Yeah. If people are wondering if I'm supporting UK or South Africa, and I meant to be neutral.
Everyone's meant to be neutral until Knoxville comes and says they're going to smash us.
Slam,
Then you
man,
have to take a stand. Slam, sorry.
I mean, I would be supporting the UK if it was more even, but I feel like the South Africans really need a bit more support at the moment.
Support the underdogs.
Exactly.
Get more res that way.
I'm obsessed by it. Even watching like the World Cup, for example, I don't really care who wins. I just cheer for the teams that say have like, I don't know, a tiny country with like 2 million people, and if they start beating big dogs and this is my philosophy on all sports, esports.
Or you support the team that's bottom of the table in their group and losing all their games really pathetically, like England.
There's something like inherently wrong with me being able to support England. It just doesn't happen. Although I did smile when Rooney scored, so I'll give you that. But anyway, to the Dota. I don't know which team of here to support though, to be honest. I think because Tyrox was so BM'd yesterday against Bravado Blue, I've got to support Bronze. Oh, Tyrox. Gets a little thunderclap in, but Mirana not lurking anywhere. And Tyrox going to be able to escape with ease.
Mirana's up on top lane, pushing with the Nature's Prophet.
I can't believe how long it took for that tier 1 at the top to go down there. They had to put a lot of resources into getting it down as well. Prophet's farm starting to kind of come into play at the moment. He's second on the charts, but I can imagine if Steve ever has a hard time, then he might be able to even surpass him. Oh. And it's still such an even game between the two of them. Like, kind of putting aside who your favorite of this game is meant to be, can you even begin to think which one of these teams are going to win?
It's going to come down to core items, really. Like, Infused can split push until a certain point. Like, when Nature's Prophet gets Hex, it's going to become more difficult for them to take team fights and stop the split push. Because Lycan now has Necro 3. He's got a smoke, he's going to go for that Roshan, which is respawn. Then you've got Undying, who has mech. He doesn't scale excellently into the late game. But when Infused are going to be looking to 5-man and go dive towers to try and end the game, then his Decay and Tombstone become infinitely more powerful. Yeah. Then you look on the other side and Infused have Brewmaster, who doesn't scale that great without getting big items. And Richie, he's struggling to get BKB right now. Another big item he needs.
Uh-oh, you're in trouble. Oh, and Steve's had to pop a wolf form and get out. And this might even get... He's done so much damage to Rush already, then they might just end up losing on this. They're going to have to gather quickly. I think Infused... They've got an arrow to land on Richie. Is this time to dive in for it? There's so much damage coming from the outside. And they managed to get it. Radiant picks it up. Brewmaster. Pyrox has got the Aegis. And no one has actually died yet. I think things have just changed.
Would have died.
Well, there's action happening all over the place at the moment. Trien, I can see your health very low, but we've got Tyrox currently in Ultiform, chasing down Steve, chasing down Mighty Morphin, and I think Mighty Morphin is trying to stop them, maybe try to divert the attention a little bit from Steve. But he's going to survive.
We've got Nature's Prophet up in the top lane, pushing. But that blinding light, once again, from Keeper of Light, stopping Richie from dying. He was sat here in the Roche pit, TPing out. Nature's Prophet on the high ground, hit him 4 times and missed all 4 times because of blinding light.
Oh,
oh wow.
That hurt. That hurt. These guys are starting to do some pretty potent damage.
So that's BKB completed after this last creep from Richie.
Yeah, this is going to start getting pretty difficult. That Disruptor going to lose its effectiveness against Richie.
So I was just wondering, like you did, when they knew Roche was on such low HP, why didn't they just go in? Because they've got Tombstone to place in the Roche pit and cause absolute havoc for them.
I think they were just positioned badly. I think they were kind of hoping that, well, our Lycan smoked in, so they won't have a clue. Unless, of course, they're keeping an eye on the Roche timing, which they certainly would be, and keeping an eye on where Lycan is on the map. So I think Bronze just didn't have a contingency plan at all for it, and it took them a while to actually get to the fight.
Steve might be in trouble down here. Forced to pop Lycan. Shapeshift even. So that Timbersaw just getting up in his face, stopping the split push alone, while the rest of his team is farming up pretty decently.
Timbersaw is a force to be reckoned with at the moment. He's going for Shivas as well, I guess. He's well on his way there.
Oh, top lane Richie with that BKB finds Janelle. Might find another kill here.
Oh
SD, can you disrupt yourself in time? No! Can disrupt that Slardar, Soul Catcher. But Richie's so tanky, does go down, but only after a double kill.
Tyrox comes into...
Suddenly Tyrox appears.
And we've got Mike and Tom, but Tom's got absolutely no mana whatsoever. And here comes the Panda. Mike ulties up, but there's nothing that's going to prevent him from dying here. And I wonder if actually Tyrox can just take down this tower easily. It's disappearing pretty quickly. Things kind of going badly for Team Bronze right now. The only
It's
kind
going
of
badly, but they've always got the possibility to split push. Now Lycan has boots of travel. Like they've always had that possibility, but it's going to be even more potent. I'm just worried about this Nature's Prophet. His item progression hasn't been great the past 10 minutes or so. You know, he had Maelstrom blink very quickly, but getting to that Hex has been really relatively slow.
yeah, he's died a couple of times in a fairly short space of time, which has really hindered his progress.
Tower has fallen.
And now he's just trying to get some ancient farming on the go. And Steve, I mean, they're just trying to keep these lanes pushed out and stop. Well, hopefully for them, be able to protect their tier 2s. They don't have the luxury of having a Treant on their side. How is Cook actually doing at the moment? He's managed to get, I say, a little bit of gold. He's second, the least farmed person in the game, but
He's ahead of the Shadow Demon now. He's got to be happy, and he's almost got Blink, which is going to be big for them, because they've got the Brewmaster to initiate as the primary hero, then Slaughter to come in secondary, then the Timbersaw. But now they can have the Treant go in first and choose targets. Because before it was Brewmaster, you know, looking for an opening. Now it's going to be Treant creating an opening for them. So their team fight is going to be a lot easier, especially when pushing tier 2 towers and diving behind them. The Treant can be invis here and find an opening with vision over here. Then the Brewmaster and Slardar can all come from this direction rather than having to go, you know, one by one.
sorry, I'm trying to catch your arrows that you're writing on the map. Yeah, the blink on Treant, I agree with you. Really, really nice. They've got such great mobility now, which is nice considering, of course, they were going against Nature's Prophet as well, and Lycan and Boost of Travel, so hopefully they can get themselves to the fights quickly.
Top tower is under attack.
Well, Bronze split pushing as hard as they can. Timbersaw going to TP in up on his top lane, going to catch out Tom. And that's a really strange Timber Chain.
Well, whatever it was, he made it work. And the lane's still pushed out, but they've lost tier 2 and mid has gone down.
Double duty.
He managed to Timber Chain into a Sprout.
Wait, you can
I guess
do
the
that?
Sprout was put on. I guess the Sprout was like targeted on him, and then mid Timber Chain he got caught in it.
Can they stop him? Steve's running so quickly. Blinks up in
Richie
3
has
seconds.
blink.
But, oh my god, look how fast. Richie's just chasing him so ridiculously fast. There you go. Goodbye, sir. That's a nice kill, actually. A
DD
really-
Slardar with that level 3 amplified damage.
That's just wreckages. So I want to look up to the kill death at the moment. Actually, Timbersaw only died once this game, and I think that was very early on as well. Maybe a nice.
It's the highest net worth in the game. Ahead of like.
That was crazy, actually. Tone's been having a fantastic game so far, but hopefully he can get a little bit more involved in the fights as well, because he seems to be maybe going a little bit Gron style at the moment.
Farming, split pushing.
Yeah.
So there's 3-man creep up here. Richie uses sprint. Can they catch someone out? Blink onto Tom. No, he leaps away. Still going to go for this though. Richie going to find a Shadow Demon who disrupts. Going to TP out possibly. Doesn't have enough time. Arrow hits Richie. Really nice save there from Tom. So at this point, I feel the Timbersaw needs a Blink Dagger as well.
Just blinks on everyone. Elliot, get a blink as well.
Maybe not the Keeper of the Light. Maybe not. But if they've got 4 blinks, they can literally dive anyone and chase down the Mirana, who's very good at escaping. Tyrox takes an arrow to the face, Wrath of Nature and Starstorm, but he's still got ultimate.
It's just
They
not
don't
enough
have
damage.
any further disable.
Can they manage to get away from that? Moonlight Shadows come out. Is there any detection whatsoever, though? That no, I don't think there is. So they're just trying to have a good guess. But Moonlight Shadow is completely running out. Mighty Morphin, I think, just trying to save his teammate space, but he manages to get out. That force stuff, I don't think it was going to take him that far. It seemed to go on forever. Well played.
Just
by
over the
guys.
cliff.
Yeah.
But now the big problem is Tombstone's on cooldown for another 40 seconds. They've got no Moonlight Shadow. Lycan and Prophet are bot desperately trying to push this tier 2. But Infused are knocking on the door of the tier 3. Richie is sprinting down towards his bot lane. Necrobook's gonna find him, but no, oh, the blink from John.
Oh my god, that was so close. I thought it was
Tyrox
going
has
to be a
Blink.
two-man.
He's got Hex. Tyrox has Hex. And Steve, his shapeshift is about halfway through its duration. They're going to go for this. There's Blink, there's a Clap, and there's Hex. There's Mana Drain as well.
Oh, the arrow's gonna miss as well. Steve, is he gonna be able to stay alive at all? No, there's just too much crowd control on him. And now it looks like
First hit back from Richie onto the Shadow Demon.
And then tier 2 gonna go down as well, surely. Actually, the lane's pushed so far back they'd have to wait.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, it looked like they were going to go for the tier 3, but nice two-man movement from Infused. Then the rest of the team joining. Cavalry arriving.
Yeah. Is this the beginning of the end is what I'm wondering. I mean, it's only a 5,000 gold difference, which really isn't that much 34 minutes into the game. Experience, though,
But it's all about the items, though. I mean, item progression is such a big deal, and it was what I was worried about on Infused, not being able to get those big items before Bronze did. But that Hex from Nature's Prophet was delayed with the nice pickoffs they got. They've got Shivas, Travels, almost BKB for the Timber Saw, the Hex on the Brewmaster, the BKB Blink, and then going towards AC for the Slardar. They've got these items at key moments in the game where they can catch up with the enemy, take pickoffs when they need to, but most importantly, kill heroes who are trying to farm their own items. Nature's Prophet, 34-minute Hex, when he literally could have had that 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. And he's going to be behind on other items that he could be getting. I feel like Mirana, even though Tom's starting to pick up some items, I just feel like it takes a while for Mirana to really get to a point where, okay, the damage is now scary. And it's still not quite there. Maybe a Desolator would make that difference.
Yeah, that's always been one of Mirana. Oh, Tom getting
God.
caught out here. Crush, amplified damage, does have Leap and Manta Style to dodge this. Moonlight Shadow even used.
Just everything to
That's
spare
always
their
been one
life.
of Mirana's weaknesses. Early in the game, you know, sort of levels 1 to 8, she's very strong with Arrow, Starstorm, Leap, and then Moonlight Shadow. But between level 8 and sort of a timing of 30 minutes into the game where she's got some big items, she's not really a great carry. She was pretty much where the word semi-carry came from, because she was played in that one role, but she wasn't a carry like Anti-Mage or Spectre. She was great with her magical burst and able to find kills and farm decently, but she needed, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 items more than an AM or Spectre would need to become that hard-hitting hero.
Yeah, and I think there's still a good 5-10 minutes for Tom to get to that scary point in the game. But I mean, you could say as well, how do you feel about the late game for Infused?
Well, they've got Timbersaw and Slardar, so they've got pretty good heroes to deal with the Lycan. Like Timbersaw with his Willing Death going to burn through that strength from Lycan, and he hasn't gone for a BKB, so that's going to be even more difficult for him. He's actually building for one now. Ogre Club ready for him. But defending high ground, Bronze can't do it. That's why you're seeing them resorting to constant split push. They're, you know, putting 2 heroes on a side lane. If Nature's Prophet and Rana pushing top, or Nature's Prophet and Lycan pushing bot, they're just trying to push Infused away from their mid-tier 3 and trying to spread it.
I'm just watching Tom. Tom's in a lot of trouble. He's got help here. We've got the Hex onto Richie. Oh, what? The arrow's going to miss. And all of a sudden, it's just gone backwards for Bronze.
Interesting BKB usage by Richie though, expecting more enemy heroes up on his high ground, but when Tyrox blinked in, only 2 of them appeared.
Yeah, they started using a few charges of that BKB as well. And this is dying for Tom's really bad at the moment when he just needs to be hitting those items as quickly as possible. And do you go for a BKB if you're Tom? It's like, I feel like a BKB and a Desolator is necessary for him to start being a threat.
Dire's top tower
But that
is
would only
under
be to
attack.
cover, like, you know, a Thunderclap and stuns from Slardar.
Well, he needed the Manta first to get out of Overgrowth and Amplify damage, because those are the 2 scariest things as a Mirana. Going for a BKB is going to be so heavily defensive. Richie going to blink in, find Mike with a crush. In comes Toad with a big DPS. Mighty Morphin in a lot of trouble, slowed down by Shivas, but the Timber Chain across. They're going to take Mike out, but can they find the Shadow Demon as well?
Steve
In
got
fact,
hexed.
Steve's in the middle here.
He couldn't BKB first, and this is just really painful now for Team Bronze. Moonlight Shadow being used as well, but There was no one in the fight at that point, although they might have popped it earlier than I noticed.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
I think this
I
is...
didn't even realize Steve ran in for that. 'Cause
Yeah,
his,
no, he
his
got
teammates were
hexed.
bailing.
he came in, and then he was just hexed immediately, so he couldn't do a single thing, and both of his teammates died before he had a chance to even get out of hex.
Like, Undying was sort of, okay, I'll take this for the team, Shadow Demon running down this way. So did Steve literally just run into the fight and get hexed?
Pretty much. That was it.
Or was he there already?
He either TP'd, I didn't see how he got in, but I'm pretty sure he either TP'd or just ran in, and I just saw him in hex form doing
Oh, what?
nothing. Oh,
How
Rich-
the hell did Richie just die?
It is a mystery, and there's no ult up for Tyrox as well, so this could be a nice counter. They don't have Steve to help them out. But Tom leading, well, actually Mighty Morphin leading the charge at the moment. 4-star in, but they're gonna. Oh. Well, that blinding light from earlier actually was really nice. I think. I know there's no disruption on just yet.
I need someone to explain to me how Richie died. Because he was on 2/3 HP. The only way I can see him dying is if he had like 5 stacks of decay on him and his strength was really low, but
Did he accidentally
Even
kill
then.
a Necro creep?
that's possible as well.
Elia's just trying to kill time. So Elia knows she's going to die, but there's a lot of teams to get away, and oh, okay, you went a little bit too far there, John. Was he still trying to push this? Oh my god, this is just not simply not going to get that tier 2 tower.
Run, Steve, run! Because the Slardar had Soul Catcher on him, had Demonic Purge on him. I guess if he killed the Necro Warrior,
Yeah.
that does make sense. It was just timed so well where he lost all of his health in one burst. It was kind of like, did you see that? I can't remember what tournament. I think it was the Dream League, where Arteezy on the DK was getting Sunstrike by Phaetor, and he hit Necro Warrior at the same time and just got absolutely wrecked.
Oh god, no, I didn't see that, but yeah, that Necro Warrior is a pain in the ass for a lot of people, but also a really nice benefit for some. I'm just gonna whack Nox into the channel at the moment. I don't know if his microphone's in or anything, but are you with us, Ben?
Hello.
You will,
Hello. Hello.
We got some UK teams getting slammed right now.
Oh yeah.
By
Other
other
UK,
UK
teams
teams.
though.
Yeah.
I'm actually watching the Infused bronze game and pretty
might be-
big slams.
Yeah, you might be a little further behind us at the moment, but it's been actually a really nice game at the moment. 41 minutes in, although Infused look like they're on the verge of taking this. Do we have any updates on the South African games in the lower
Yeah.
bracket?
So Energy Esports apparently forfeit, but
Wow.
the line came in. So they just couldn't get all of their players. So that's like a little bit disappointing.
Who was that,
Although,
sorry?
Energy Esports.
Oh.
So, but Bravado Emotion were like definitely the favorites in that.
Oh,
game.
Richie gonna turn on this. BKB crush. Mighty Morphin gonna go down. The mech not quite quick enough there, but Tom, they've got the hex on Richie. He's gonna pay for this. Booster travel in from the Timber Saw. He got the cheese.
Oh, I
Man
didn't
didn't
see
see the
that.
cheese just before he died. Now Tom's got no leap, gets crushed, amplified damage. No, the blinding light pushes him to low ground.
Oh, this fight is a complete mess at the moment. That blinding light, oh my god. I think Richie was about to get a kill just there, and if he dies now, he might be a little bit upset. But they can't quite seem to be able to take him down. This Necro keeps chasing hard, but let's have a look though, because Tyrox is going deep into the enemy base. He's just going to blink out of that.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I don't think they can push this too hard though at the moment. Sorry Ben, I'm going to
Well, they've
I'm
got
going to ask you
open
more about
racks
this in a
as
sec.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, keep this going, Decker.
Lara gonna hit a BKB target. Tom gonna have to leap out, sprout, use. Tone gets soul catched up, purged up. Gonna try and make as much happen as possible. Steve gets hexed, but this is just fighting a losing battle. Cook blinks in, use the overgrowth just to slow them down. They can't defend these racks. And Steve going into a massive fight there all alone. The rest of his team held in place by that Korean. Wrath of Nature finally going to pick up a kill, but they've already lost melee racks, ranged racks in a lot of trouble. Tombstone is causing a bit of problems here for Infused. Look at all these zombies chasing Tyrox and Tone down. TP in from the Undying, going to try and carry this on, but Arrow narrowly misses Tone there. Jonel finds the sprout on the Tyrox, Tyrox hexes him up, plus the Drunken Haze. And Tone has so many Bloodstone charges, 17, just continually spamming spells, and Elia, the Illuminate! Undying falls down, Mighty Morphin going to fall down very shortly, disrupting himself, but there's no way you can escape this. 3 men converging on his position, even the Illuminate ready to go. Gonna be a full set of racks here for Infused. And look at the lines drawn on the map there. Lycan wants people to split push. You can't defend the racks. Stop trying to fight this. Tone going man mode. 1 versus 3. Might catch Tom. BKB from Tone. They're continuing this. The fountain farming commences. Jonel gonna get caught. Can't blink out this. GG is called. They know they can't quell this push.
Wow. Infused does it. They just lay on down too much aggression and they can't split push. They simply need to have everyone in the base, and everyone in the base is just dying. Well played, Infused. So guys, that was the beginning of day 2 here in the Bravado Brawl, hosted by Bravado Gaming. And Infused look like they're one step closer to making it over to those winner bracket